popping. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk Fabulous with Tamara L. Hunter and special co-host Barbara J. Beckley. Because you're probably saying, okay, you are not Tamara. I could never be that woman as a queen. So I'm here as a special host today, and I am very, very excited. This particular talk we're going to have with the panelists, I'm telling you, get your tissue out, get your pen out, get your paper out. You're going to need it. You are going to need it. You're going to need to take notes. And the tissue is to make sure you get the little tears, just little tears from your eyes, because I'm telling you, some powerful stories are going to be talked about. And for healing. See, it's one part to say, okay, I have a story I went through, good, bad, and ugly, however you want to call it. I don't even call it ugly, because even the stuff that's the icky stuff in your life, you still get something out of it. And that's what we're going to show you with that. One quote that I came up with, because I knew we were doing a show on stories and healing, is I wanted to say our shared stories in all their joy and pain weave a healing pattern of resilience, offering comfort and connection for ourselves and for others on this life's journey. So I want you to really meditate on that when you're listening to these guest hosts. And you know what? It's time for Let's Talk. Yes. Fab. Yes, and yes. Hello, panel. Yes. How are we all
Hello,
doing?
Barbara.
Hello, Barbara.
Great.
Hello.
Doing fantastic.
Thank you. Well, before we start, because you're looking at these smiling faces, and you're like, okay, who are these wonderful people? Barbara, you talking queens and king one that's in the house today. We're going to talk. We're going to get to know them before I'm going to want them to introduce themselves. But before that, I always have another special host that always brings a message to us for every episode. Her name is the wonderful Queen Renee. I'm going to play her, and then we'll be right back to meet each and every panelist on the panel.
Hello, everyone. My name is Renee Reich, founder of Finding Your Voice Network, Finding Your Voice Network magazine, and #1 best-selling author for Finding Your Voice, Unlock Your Chains, and Unleash Your Greatness. Welcome to today's fabulous show. Our guest host once again is Barbara Beckley. She will be joined from some expert panelists in speaking about how storytelling can actually help heal. These experts will be sharing their life stories and how their resilience and their never give up attitude has helped them get them to where they are today, and how they can serve you as well. I know from my own personal journey in losing my voice in 2013, how that never give up attitude helped me get to where I am. So please stay tuned, grab your pens and papers, grab your tissue box, because this is going to be some compelling stories, and sit back, relax, and enjoy today's fabulous show. Barbara, take it away, my friend.
Give her all the kisses. Love you, Renee. Love you all the time. You want to see from all the panel. So with that, I told the panel, I said, I have to make sure I don't talk so much to make sure that they get their stories out. Because like I said, this is going to be powerful. Get your pen. You know what? I'm saying get your pen. Let me get my pen, right? And let me get my piece of paper. What am I talking? So I have a whole book. See, I got a notebook. See, I got an old school. I have old school.
I like that.
So I'm ready. Get that tissue going, because I'm telling you, oh boy. So with that, I want you to meet the wonderful panelists. I want to let them introduce themselves and just tell who they are, just those at the beginning, and then we're going to play. We have some videos for each one, and then we're going to get a little bit more deeper into their story. And then the other part of it after that, we're going to ask basically, what was the golden nugget from your story? What did you learn from? And that's the important part. It's one thing to go through, it's the other to learn from it, guide through it, and then help others heal as you're healing at the same time. So I'm going to start with, see, what's first queen here. Maybe down switcher in here. There we go. Karen.
Hi, Barbara. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm Karen Rudolf with Tranquil Solutions, and I am a catalyst for change. I am a spiritual life strategist, and I start with a holistic with a W, meaning mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. I've been educated in each one of those areas. So when I look at you, I'm looking at everything about you. Shifting perception, being present in the moment, learning to support others, being strong, resilient, and finding the peace within.
Amazing. This is Mandy.
Good afternoon. Karen and I are just crossing paths, to be honest with you. I left Sarasota and she's now, I left Sarasota and she's there, but thank you so much for having me. My name is Mandy Lemond. I'm an author and a motivational speaker, but the title that was attached to me for most of my life was a foster child. So I grew up in foster care, but now I love to give those golden nuggets to those folks who've also gone through that trauma.
Right.
Wonderful, wonderful queen. And other queen.
Hi, thank you for having me here. I am Yadira Gonzalez Munoz. I am an author and speaker, and I am also the founder of I Am Magazine International. And well, there's so much to tell about my story, so I will give a little bit to the others, and later on we will talk about the miracles of what God can make in our lives. Thank you.
And Miss Char.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Char McCreadie, and I own Fly Far with Char, the ultimate lifestyle experience. And my background is military and medicine. I was an elite athlete, Olympic athlete, and all throughout that, the label that I had the majority of my adult life was a cancer patient. And gratefully, not anymore. Much learning, new things, even stepping out of my traditional medical training to share all that I've learned and things that I discovered so I can help others maybe not even get down that path ever again. I look forward to talking with you later.
And Mr. King.
Mr. King, so great to join you all. And thank you, Barbara. We go way, way back. My name's Skip, and I'm in Arkansas, kind of in a holler down in the Ozark Mountains. My whole life I've been I guess labeled as a filmmaker, a storyteller. It was what I love to do. And this is, like Char was just saying, I told a lot of stories about other people, especially other people in the healthcare working that had cancer. And then suddenly I became a cancer victim and survivor. And I don't like to use the word victim because we're victorious, we're warriors. And so anyway, it's great to be a part of this with 5 fabulous, beautiful women, and me being the only guy. I'm in pretty good company. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So thank you.
Thank you, Skip, so much. And see, I'm telling you, this panel is already powerful with the little things that they said, and just to give you a little peek on some things that they dealt with, challenges in life. And I call them stepping stones of strength. That's what I call them, stepping stones of strength in your life, because it makes you stronger. It really does. I mean, you either go right or go left. I think a lot of them went right and said, you know what, I don't want to deal with that other stuff. I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to be just here being. But they said, I'm going to make a difference in my. I love when you say, I always say cancer. So we want to go into, let's see, yes. So how can the stories heal you? So we're gonna listen to each person's. We have this little clip from each one. Listen to this little part of their story and what they're talking about, and then I want to bring them on so they just give just a little bit more deep into that. And then the second part of it, they're gonna give the golden nuggets from their stories, because that's important. That's why I said have that piece of paper and pen with you. But right now, get the tissue out. Just let you know. So we're gonna start. You know what? We'll start with the king this time. we'll give the king, first buzz here. So we'll play the story, and then we'll have him come on and talk a little bit about it.
There comes a time I look to the sky, a rainbow appears and I wonder why. I see your face above the clouds, your whispers. Over my life's journey, I've been a storyteller through movies and music and photography, and I just shared experiences as being a vehicle to funnel really the spirit of the story, in the hope that something I shared could help another person, or even dreaming bigger, could even help humanity. This clip is from one of my movies where in the middle of a production, I was hit with a life-threatening disease. It began to evolve into a project that was less about what we were filming and about more about those who were a part of the filming. I was looking through the lens, but it was like the whole universe was looking back at me as to what I had to work on, what my journey was going to be. And then I was diagnosed with cancer. And when that hit, and you really look at how fragile life is, I had to really ask the question, why am I here? And it was definitely a journey much deeper into my heart, much deeper than I ever wanted to go with anything in my life. But what I realized was that it was a gift. It really was a gift. It was an opportunity to go through a doorway that I would have never have entered. And I'm certainly still on the journey. And the film became a piece of that journey, certainly. But it led to something that, regardless how long I would be here on this earth with that diagnosis, and thank God I'm healthy today, but it was certainly the greatest blessing, the greatest gift, to know what lies within the depths of your own heart.
Whew. I told everybody to get a tissue, and I forgot to get my own. Powerful. So, Skip, I want to bring you in because I want you just, for just a minute here, to kind of dive in a little bit more of that and how that healing helped, and share with the audience.
Well, as we were talking, as in the medical field, like Char was, or whatever, those certain things always happen to other people. When they happen to you, it's kind of a timeout. For me, it was shock, and you go through all the emotions, but then you start to go, where's the gift in this? And the gift is looking inside yourself and maybe really asking, why am I here? And what is my purpose? What is the intention I've been put here at this time to do? At that point, everything in my life shifted. Since then, I've gone through another cancer bout and some other issues, but each one of them, you can be in fear, but you start to look at it as to what is it I can use this as a gift that I otherwise wouldn't have paid attention and stopped and said, time out. I've got to look at this, and I've got to apply it first to myself, and then hopefully it can maybe be an example to help inspire other people. And that's, as a storyteller, I'm grateful to be able to do that. So thank you.
Thank you, Skip. I always tell people your vulnerability heals people. And I'm just glad that, you and all the queens here and everybody out there talking to the audience as well, that, a lot of people get nervous when they say, I don't want to say what I went through and stuff. But, you're a lighthouse to the world. I always tell people with your stories, because you don't know who you're touching. People feel like they're alone out there. And you have 3 people on the panel right now that went through cancer, including myself. So right there, you're not alone. And there's so many others. So thank you, Skip, for being vulnerable. Thank you for putting yourself out there. And thank you for telling about the journey, because it's needed for us to know that there is hope at the end of the tunnel. Now, we're going to bring back to Skip a little bit later about the golden nuggets, but we're going to get to our first queen here, Miss Mandy. I'm going to play her video, and then she's going to talk to us a little bit about the inside of that.
You know, life can be messy, but I have been able over the course of my life to turn my mess into a message, whether it was dealing with homelessness, divorce, abuse, neglect, or the trauma that I faced when dealing with my son who went into prison. Life can be a mess, but I'm here to tell you everything you go through is about sharing and helping and educating someone else. I cannot wait to sit down with you guys today and share that with you. We'll talk about how you turn your mess into a message.
Yes, I like that. Fabulous Mandy. Turning your mess into a message. Lady, yeah, I'm just going to bring you on for that one real quick.
Oh my goodness, it has, and life has been so messy at times. But now, as I look back over the last, explaining my childhood was so traumatic as enough, and then I ended up adopting a son who committed a horrific crime. And my background script is also in broadcasting. I was a television reporter and a television producer. And I went from being able to walk into any room and be able to be comfortable until my foster adopted son committed a horrific crime. He was in a gang-related incident and shot and blinded and almost killed a 5-year-old. So my family was this great little network, and the shame and trauma of sometimes of dealing with what someone else has done, but you carry it, makes you feel so, vulnerable and messy inside. But it took me learning. Well, that's my nugget. I'll give that. I'll say that later. But we'll go with that.
I know it's so easy to jump into that learning thing, but just to see, sometimes the mess is a whole bunch of messes in your life, and we all deal with that. And I think once you learn the first mess, because all they're different, then all of a sudden you say, well, let me just take what I did with that and maybe do the same thing so I can still move forward, because I can't let it scoop. You can't let it just gobble you up. Because like Skip said, we're in this world for a purpose. Each and every person on this panel, you out there that's listening, you have a purpose. And, I'm going to get into my soapbox, and I got to stop right now because I talk about purpose. So I just want to make sure that you understand whatever you're going through, you were born for a reason. You're born for a purpose. So that's just the challenges of life. Like I said, stepping stones of strength. So now I'm going to get to the next queen, and that is Miss Karen. Let's hear her.
Hi, I'm Karen Rudolf, and I believe it's not just one incident in our life that changes us. I believe it's a culmination of many experiences and the lessons we learn from each of those experiences, that how we choose to respond in each of those circumstances will create an empowered right action next step. I am a catalyst for change, a spiritual holistic with a W, meaning mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Shifting perceptions, being present in the moment and supporting others to be stronger, resilient, and of course find calm and peace within each situation. Recently, I was able to experience all of that on my own when I was down in Costa Rica, and I recently in January broke my femur, fractured my pelvis, and dislocated my lower vertebrae. While not being able to speak the language in Costa Rica, I had to learn to go with what was in the moment, to surrender, to learn to adapt, become resilient, and embrace the moment, and trust, and create teams to get myself home because I couldn't walk. So I'm here to encourage others to embrace change, as life is always shifting and changing from moment to moment, and learning to be present and be with what is in the moment so you can be a more empowered you.
Love it, love it, love it, Karen. I love what she said. Be in the moment, learning to be in the moment and embrace change. Now, I know we don't supposed to get into our golden nuggets just yet, but I couldn't let that pass. She said it. It was like, okay, just pass that up. And I know she can dig a little bit more when we get to that part of it, but awesome, Karen. I just couldn't just be in a different country and don't know the language. I would flip out already. I looked at you when we talked before. I was like, okay, yeah, I would need get my phone with the interpreter thing on it for whatever. I don't know what to do. But give us a little bit more of what you was dealing with.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was all about, thank goodness I shift perception because attitude is everything. And I went, this is what is. I can't move my legs. It was surreal. And I'm in a country that I didn't speak the language. So, yeah, I adapted with my phone really quick. Como se dice? And made light of it. So you find humor. There's always, always, always a silver lining in it. And as I was sitting there for 3.5 weeks by myself, I didn't know anybody. The only one that spoke English was the physician, who was phenomenal. I got really good care. And, you just go with the flow. 7:00 in the morning, the lights come on. It's like, okay, shower time. They rip your clothes off. And they're all male orderlies and nurses. And you're like, what the, it's just be in the moment, and surrender. And it's interesting because for me, as a spiritual being anyway, I went down to Costa Rica. I knew I was searching for something. And the word that came to me was surrender. And I'm like, okay, universe, God, it could have been a little less painful. But I really got surrender as I'm looking out the window and seeing a mountain, which I thought was a mountain. It was actually a volcano. And I'm like, okay, I remember there's scripture saying, like, the faith of a mustard seed. And when you get to a mountain, it's like, how do you get through it? You don't get through it. It's one step in front of the other. I was looking down at my feet going, okay, feet, one step at the other. We're going to make this work. And everything I've learned and everything I've philosophized to everybody else, it was all come to fruition in the moment. So it was really, it was a great experience. And out of it, well, great experience. I'm not going to say great. Let me reframe that. It was a learning experience, but out of it came my third international best-selling collaborative book came out of that. And I believe that each and every one of those and everything we do supports the greater whole. And that to me is very important because that's part of my calling. And I believe we all have a calling. And when we choose to follow it, it's a choice. Not everybody does it, but I look at it this way. We all have our experiences from the past. We all have circumstances. It's how we choose to respond to it is going to make all the difference moving forward in life. So, I can go on and on. Yeah.
See, we can't help getting to this golden nuggets, can't we? I know, it's like, I can't hold it, Barbara. I want to tell them. We're getting there. So we have two more queens. We want to make sure we give their story there because, like I said, learning the stories and healing from them through how they healed and then how you can heal through your own stories and their stories. So let's go to our other queen, Yadira. Let's see. Let me get her.
I am Yadira Gonzalez Munoz, and since 2010, I have a new life thanks to God. In a split of a second, my life changed catastrophically due to an impaired driver who drove me off the road. Following months in the hospital and multiple surgeries, my doctors told me I would never walk again. I did not accept their prognosis, and today, after 13 years, 19 surgeries, and constant therapy, I am walking again. But most important of all is that I believe what God was doing behind the scenes. He was giving me a second opportunity to change my life for the better. Having faith and believing I would walk again was what God had set in my heart. We have to have faith and believe that He is doing His magic and learn to be patient and wait for His sign. And I hope that this message will help you believe.
I am. I love how she does that. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, during this process was let's say I like Skip said, there was a purpose. God gave me a second opportunity to be here on earth. And I had to find that purpose. I had to find the why. I had to find something that why am I here? Why did he choose to leave me in this world again? So I started changing my thoughts, my life, my everything, and I actually discovered my I am, which was very important because once he said, and it's written in the Bible, I am, and everything else comes from there. And that's how I found my I am. I just went. I feel like it's like I don't know how you call it in Spanish, embudo. He's the greatest I am. So it just comes through our lives, and this is how I found my I am. That's why everything is I am Jade or I am Yadira. It is very important, and well, I will not say all the nuggets, but I am is what gave me my I am back. And then I found my purpose, I found my why, and I know that he gave me a second opportunity to give the message to the world and to the people that are listening. I am walking again, but because I believed and I had faith.
Amen.
Ooh. I'm telling you, I'm having second service today. Service early this morning. I'm coming here. I'm like, and I knew that was going to happen. That's why I said I had to get myself. I had to gather myself because I knew how powerful these stories are going to be in these wonderful lighthouses that you're just glowing your light. And you know, it's one thing to have the story, and I'm so glad that before we get to Char, because I just want to make sure I know we're dealing with just a few things, but I want to make sure she's okay. But just one thing is going through, right? We all, you know, we got the flows, the whatever, ups and downs, whatever we want to call it. Some people call it hurricanes, some people call it ups and flows of valleys, low and high. But whatever it is, I'm glad that, again, that you're saying not only I went through all this craziness at the time, but I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there by talking on a podcast. I'm putting it out there by maybe putting it in a book. I'm putting it out there just on your own, you know, platform, because it's needed. Each and every one of you found out I got to do the extra. And that's why I have to give you so much love right now. You're doing the extra right now. And you don't know, you're saving lives. I just want to say that. You're saving lives. People always say, Barbara, you always say I'm saving lives. I said, you are. Because you're putting yourself out there, because you don't know if somebody out there listening, they might be going through the abuse relationship. They might be going through, found out they got cancer. They might be going through where, you know, the loved ones, they might not be going through, but the loved ones did something. And now you got to deal with the shock of it and people looking at you crazy. So you never know who you're talking to. And that's why I'm loving these stories. So now we have to get to Miss, I think she's ready now. Miss Char, let's hear her story and get her take on it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Char McCreadie, otherwise known as your lifestyle wellness warrior. You know, chronic illness, it's a thing. Chronic anything is a thing for people. For me personally, I had a long chronic battle in my health. It tried to knock me down. It tried to take me out, make me weary in life, and so much more. There became this day when I had to make a decision, the pivotal moment. And I realized I had learned to become chronically ill and live that way. That day, though, I decided to be chronically well and live life full out to the fullest. This journey for me started at age 15 when I was told all these things about who I was or what wasn't going to happen. And boy, were they wrong, because many of those things came to fruition in a positive sort of way. You too can choose to be chronically well and say goodbye to being chronically ill and anything in your life. I look forward to seeing you on the show.
Say goodbye to be chronically ill. I love that. I'm going to bring her right in here.
Thank you, Barbara. That's exactly right. Wow. Interesting things happening. For me, it was a big valley that came unexpected. I was in the middle of the highs of my life. All of my dreams at age 17 had come true. I was living that, being in the military, practicing medicine, training for the Olympics, and then bam, right there in the middle, found out that I was pregnant. I was told I would never have children. And I was 6.5 months along. It was kind of nuts because, my body was operating like a normal woman's body and I was very fit. So I had no idea that could have been going on. And by God's grace, I'm so glad I got to follow Yadira. It was because there was cancer brewing inside my body that had gone undetected. And it was found 3.5 hours after I had a picture perfect delivery of my oldest child, who's now in his 30s. And that began the journey that I had no idea would last almost 2 decades, just shy of 2 decades. And as Skip has already said, it takes you to really examine yourself and go deep within. And a lot of things take on a different perspective. They really just don't matter anymore, or they are very much lower in the priority scheme of things. Just super grateful. Outside of my children, it is the biggest blessing that has happened to me. And I've learned a lot of things that I wasn't taught in medical school that I now am grateful that I figured out a way to put together to just share with the world. And I pray that those things help people so they don't end up on the journey I was on.
I'll take it.
We still have to have fun through these stories. So, oh my gosh, Char, wow. I didn't, me and Char know each other from another group, and she's become my sister too. Everybody's like my sister and my, brother here, Skip. The King, I'll call him the King now. And every time she tells a story, I'm like, what? I'm sitting there. Okay, I gotta get a whole box of tissue, and I gotta go to the store and get some more tissue from everybody. I was like, oh my God. So just learning, again, stories can heal. So now we're going to, because they've been waiting for this part. I know I had to. And those are the golden nuggets of the story, right? So with that said, I'm going to go back to Char. We'll go the other way around because we started with the King, Mr. Skip. So we'll go to Char and give her some golden nuggets and let everybody do from there. So this is where you do this. Got old school notebook, a pen, do the writing. There we go. Char's ready. Here we go.
Oh, golden nuggets. There were many, as I'm sure each of our storytellers here today will share. For me, what I realized in the midst of all of this, there was that pivotal moment, that one day. And I actually had a heavenly experience. And coming back from that, once I realized what had just happened, I was like, okay, clearly I have a purpose. The biggest thing to note is at that point, this battle had been from 1994 to 2007, and I had lost hope. I was weary, worn out, down and out, all the labels you can think of. I was in that place. And that right there, when I got to meet my Creator face to face, I realized that there would come a day like today where that label of cancer would not be just who I was. It would be a way that I could help someone. And when that hope renewed, I then had to dig deep. And I remembered that I always experienced life being a warrior, being out front, living gregariously, believing all things were possible. And I had to find her again. And when I did, man, I took my toolbox, I added some great power tools, and your sister went to work. And with God's grace and by his grace and healing, I met a couple of people that thought differently like me outside of the medical school training that we had all had. And we found some nuggets and tools and ways to empower the cells of the body. And I practice that here today. Here I am now 11 years later, still running, completely healed, full on, and training for a bodybuilding competition next year.
Awesome. Thank you, girl. Shoot.
What Mandy said, you go.
I said, shoot, I feel like getting some running shoes on after that. My goodness. Let's go.
Come on, girl. I'll go with you.
Let's go.
Come on. I love it. See how we're a community of love here. Well, Shar, first of all, I loved how you said you understood your purpose. And to remind everybody that your story is not your purpose. It's part of your journey. It's part of your journey. So people label themselves, well, I have cancer. I said, that's not my name. Cancer is not my name. It was just a part of my journey to get to where I need to go to. Going through domestic violence, that is not my name, domestic violence. There's no DV on me. It's just a journey that you went through. So now we're going to get to Golden Nuggets with Yadira. I am Yadira.
I am. Thank you so much. Well, let's say that I heard Char said it, and it was the same situation with me. I had to be face to face with the Creator to realize, okay, this is not the life that I want or He wants for me. He gave me a second opportunity, and I have to change that. I have to change the way I used to be before, so negative, so many other things. And He gave me the second opportunity. There's a reason for it. So I went through it. I accepted. I took it. I say, okay, I have to change. I have to start being patient. I have to listen to Him. What does He want from me? How do I find the right path to follow, or how do I find myself again? And that's how, like I said before, I started finding and discovering my I am, and getting involved with Him in my life journey, in my purpose, and say, okay, what do you want from me now? And one of the things I really learned was patience, because we want it now, and we want it right now. It doesn't matter how it is. And I learned, no, it's not on my time, it's in God's time. And I need to be patient, and I need to have faith that everything that I want or my purpose in life is because of Him is coming step by step. And one thing I really want to tell anybody that is listening is, have faith and wait patiently, because God knows what He has for you. And He's working behind the scenes, even though even though you're like desperate and you don't know what is going to come out, just don't worry. He's working for us behind the scenes, and He's going to give it to us. Not on our time. So be patient. That was a golden nugget for me. So sometimes I get desperate and say, like, patience, remember patience.
I know you got to do that. I always say woosha moment when I feel patience, like woosha, Barbara, woosha. And one thing, I love what you talk about patience, believe in whatever you believe, because everybody's different religions. And, we're like, everybody has their own way. If you're high power, if it's Jesus, if it's God, if it's, your Jewish faith, whatever you need to get you through that, that's what you have to do. One thing, just a little tip for everybody out there, and then we're going to get to our wonderful other Queen Mandy with her golden nuggets. Never pray for patience. I did that at the age of 13, and everything I've been through in my life has took a little bit longer than everything else. And my cousin, because she remembered that prayer, and she said, well, you prayed for patience. Let's go to Mandy. What not to do.
My nugget, I guess the backstory of my life has been crazy, from, like I said, from everything from the orphanage to my son being incarcerated to the moment I think I had a reality check. And my golden nugget that I was reading a book. It's called The Last Lecture. If you haven't read that, it's by Randy Posh. And his nugget in there is, it's not the cards you're dealt, it's how you play the hand. And I had that just clings to me and resonates with me through almost anything, whether you're in traffic or something crazy happens. And if you play the hand right, no matter how messy it is, you can usually use that, and it'll come out to whether your higher power guides you or your soul resonates with it. You'll find a way to make something work. But I think one of the hardest parts of that, the cards, when you see that you've been dealt something that's, first of all, this is not my problem. This is not, that's a you problem. It's not a me problem, but now it's in my hand. Sometimes it's so easy to want to give it back to someone else instead of, or push it away. But with that same, it's not the cards you're dealt, it's how you play the hand. One of the best lessons that I've been able to learn over the last 2 years since my life has transitioned is sometimes in those cards, there's such a mess and there's such a blessing as well, because someone may hand you, or you may be able to give somebody else that card because your mess is so bad. And they can say, I hate to say it, sometimes we like to be like, oh my God, you have a crap show too. Me too. It's horrible. Let's join in together. I'm so glad this happened to you. A couple of my friends are going through divorce, and I'm working on a book about that as well. And just being able to talk with them about the divorce and give the advice. But if I had not been dealt those cards, I would not be on the path that I am right now, whether it's writing the books or the motivational speaking or modeling or anything of that nature. But I had to go through that crap, and nothing you go through is wasted. That's my last nugget. Everything that you go through, whether, like all of us, we're sitting here sharing all of this right now, and think of the lives that I'll be able to say, Skip told me this, or Char told me this, and to be able to share your story, and it branches out. So if you think about that, like we were speaking earlier about how we're all a river and guiding, I think Skip was saying that, and it just all branches out. But that cup of hands and the cards you're dealt, I'll take one of your cards, you give me yours, and let's see if we can make this mess a message. So. You're very sweet. Made me cry.
I had to get that. I mean, come on. If anybody did write down how you play the hand, you need to find a pen or piece of paper. I don't know if you missed that note. What's really going on, like they say. Yeah. Oh my God, Mandy, that is so powerful. It's how you do it, what you're gonna do. Like I always tell people, I always tell people, you're gonna go left, you're gonna right. So now I like that how you play the hand. If you don't mind, I'll make sure I give you credit. But I like that. I like that a lot. Wow. So Miss Karen,
yeah,
the nugget lady.
Oh, it's so interesting because I too, going through my divorce, I kept praying for strength, and boy, it was like a rough go. I learned the hard way, school of hard knocks. But what I learned from that experience is words create our reality. What we focus on expands.
Yes.
Right? Everything is energy. So what we focus on expands. So your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and fiction. So the stories we tell ourselves is really going to create the journey we're on. So we have a choice. So for me, one of the things that I've been telling myself for the past 6 months during my healing journey is my body is healing itself every day in every way. I declare it, I'm commanding it, I'm compelling it, and I'm trusting that it's getting back to the natural state that God intended it to be. I'm 6 months into this journey right now, and I'm walking. And the doctors are like, well, wait a minute, it's taking eight months to a year. Who are you going to listen to? I'm listening to me. I'm listening to my body. I am trusting that everything is a lesson. And I choose to have my reality be my reality. Nobody else's. Because when you change the way you look at things, the way you look at things change. And again, to the last thing you said, it's a choice. And not choosing is still a choice, and you could either respond to it or you could react to it. So how you going to play your cards?
Beautiful. Beautiful. That was gorgeous. Wait. Gorgeous, Queen. Gorgeous.
That was another, wait a minute. I had to do that for Queen Karen. When she said you respond or react. Everybody wrote that down. Let me look in the chat. Come on, put your pen and paper. Yes. And words are powerful. We've been getting a lot from the Queen Tamara. She's out there listening to us. Thank you, Queen, for giving me the opportunity again. I always thank her for that, in this wonderful panel today. We have my pastor, Christina. She's on. Words, yes. Speak those words. Yep. Powerful, powerful. And wow, it's a choice. Yes. So our audience out there, they're listening. They're writing it down. I see they have the notes, so they're listening to me. I keep saying it. Get that pen. Okay, now let's go. Oh yeah, wait a minute. It's the king. Let him say some golden nuggets. Mr. Skip. Uh-oh, he is on. No, he can't be on mute now. We got to listen to this.
Oh, hello, Ken. Here I am. Those are some amazing stories. And, you talk about the journey in this show about fabulous. Some might think these stories are not so fabulous, but the outcome and the lives that have been touched and changed and inspired, that is truly fabulous. So thank you all for sharing so many beautiful, fabulous stories that really are life-changing, not only to you, but those that you come in contact with. This life is certainly a journey. And, we have a plan, and we try to act out that plan, and suddenly things happen along the way, like my own stories and all these we've heard. And sometimes that's not in our plan, God. And it's kind of like somebody told me once, how do you make God laugh? Well, tell him your plans.
Your plans.
and so, along this journey, my gold nuggets are the people I met. Barbara, we go way back, and Tamara and Caroline. And the events, I mean, we've got a Tour of Love I wouldn't have been a part of without this. We're about to launch our second season. You started a thing accidentally or intentionally, I don't know, with that song I wrote called I Can, We Will. And that came from Miss Barbara years ago, holding up a little card saying, I can, we will. And I thought, oh my God, I wrote that down. I thought, I got to write a song about that. That is so powerful. And if anything, it's so true. I can, meaning I can heal myself. I can overcome this. And together we will, as a community, we can do this, do anything together. We can help heal each other. And that, like Karen said, which is, which is likened to itself attracts. If it's about love, we attract more of that. Wellness, we attract more of that. As opposed to fear, same thing works. It's like a prayer. So let's keep our prayers high, and let's do this together. Thank you for being a part of this. Love you all.
Beautiful.
I have to show everybody on the screen. Look at this. This is just take that one moment of, there we go. There we go. Do it again. Yes. Well, first of all, I know. See, I knew time. We need to do like a 2-hour show. I'm just saying. We need to do like a part 2. I'm just back, and we need to talk more because there's so many lessons. They just gave 1 or 2, but I know there's a lot of other golden nuggets that each and every person on this panel has. And when I was listening to each and every person about, what they went through and the challenges, and we have all different words for it. But think about it as different chapters in your life. Now, I'm giving a tip. It could be a book, your book. If you don't even write it and put it out there, which you would, because it will help others. But each thing that you go through is just a different chapter, chapter. And make sure that you put it out there, like I said, what we're doing here. Now, one thing I want to do real quickly, because I know I'm on this timer, and my senior production person is kind of like, okay, Barbara, you really going to do this into the time, but I know we can do this because we have a song that we want to play that Mr. King wrote, Skip wrote. We want to play that out. But I want each panelist just to give just one word to give to the audience, something that they can just cling to, that you feel like is something, a word that might you use every day in your life, but just shout it out to them so they can have something, just that one more takeaway. So I'm going to start with Char.
Warrior.
That's my girl.
Okay, Mandy.
I say resilience.
Resilience, yes. Write it down, just to let everybody know. I am Yadira.
Believe. Believe not only God, but in yourself.
Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. Come on now. She made it plain. Hey, Miss Karen.
I'm going to say gratitude.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Because
That'd be great. Yes, yes. And Mr. Skip.
Well, I'm going to say love, starting right here, and let it be that little light that shines. This little light of mine can shine, and let it light the world up.
That said it all right there. You are all fabulous in my eyes. I know you're fabulous in everybody else's eyes that's been listening to your stories. We don't take these stories for granted because they're powerful, And again, each and every one, you're all a lighthouse to the world. You're saving lives. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You listened, I went out there and asked, and you said, yes, Barbara, I'll do it. I'm like, yay. So taking the time out to come on, let's talk fabulous with Tamara L. Hunter, me being the guest host, Barbara J. Beckley. We'll see you next Sunday. And we want to leave you with this song that the King's Gift wrote. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Take it in, take the notes, take your heart, and know that you are fabulous every day of your life.
There comes a time I look to the sky, a rainbow appears and I wonder why. I see your face above the clouds, your whispers heard among the crowds. So if you're asking if I've been called, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. From sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, we are. And one may block our way, we climb and build a better day. We will. There's a reason, now's the time. Rivers to swim and mountains to climb. I'll hold your hand and we'll reach the shore. Shine a light for all to an open door. So if you're asking if I've been called, I have. Can stand within the storm. I can. From sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, we are. And one may block our way, we climb and build a better day. We will. When they told me I felt so alone, to be on this journey I'd be on my own. Do I tell those I love, let go the memories yet undreamed of? If you're asking if I've been called, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I can. From sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, I will. And one may block my way, climb and build a better day. I can. We will. So if you're asking if I've been called, I have. And who can stand within the storm? I I can sea to sea reaching, hand to hand, we are, and one may block our way, we climb and build a better day, we will, we will.